Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. It's another Raid Shadow Legends video. We're doing an account takeover today of Adjoint. He is a low spend player. We're going to go through his account. He's been playing the game for about 6 months, so had some decent time here. We're going to try and help him move from a nightmare composition where he is doing basically a 2-key, albeit it's a 2-key on a good day. He really wants to move on to Ultra Nightmare. At the moment, he's doing around 7 million damage per key Ultra Nightmare. So we're going to try and find out why and how we can push that on. Let's have a bit of a snoop around his account. So in terms of the missions, he's at level 7 Great Hall. So he's kind of at that Great Hall stage. And then he's got a bunch of level 14. This is all the keep stuff. So he must be coming up to level 17 on the dungeons, I'd imagine, pretty soon. Still got a while actually. Still got a while till he gets there. He's got level 15s to clear first, then 17s, then 20s. He wants to be ready for those 20s as soon as possible. I got a load of grief. I got a load of grief last time I said this feels like a really weak Great Hall. For 6 months in, guys, does this not feel like a weak Great Hall? This is going to make doing all the things I just said pretty difficult to do. Accuracy is definitely a tree to push on with. He's getting to level 6s. He's obviously pushing for that level 7 so he can skip on the next missions. He's got some work in defense and some work in attack. We've got no bonus HP here. We've got no bonus crit rate or crit damage. And we've only got accuracy in our Void champions and our Force champions to any kind of real level. So this is going to make doing what we need to do today very difficult to do. What it means is you need much stronger gear to get to the same place that someone else who's been playing 6 months who's invested in this area will do, and that's a challenge. So that's his Great Hall. Definitely some work that needs doing there. It definitely needs to improve if you're going to get to the levels you want. Let's just take a look and see what team he is running in Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare right now. So we've got Jareg, Razin. Yeah, I mean, this feels like actually it's a strong team. This is a strong team. We've got a decreased attack champion, decreased defense, weaken, poisons for days, 2 people that do increased defense for your team, and we've got a counter attacker. So all of that fits the bill for Nightmare, Ultra Nightmare really well. So that looks good. Let's take a look at some champions and see. Actually, before we do that, let's just see where we are on the dungeons, which again we'd like to push on with. So dungeons, can we get to level 20? Okay, so we're already at level 20 here. It's just hella slow, hella slow. But that looks like that's probably manual times. Spiders, we're at 18, so we're stuck on 19. But decent time for 18. Dragons, we're doing 20, but pretty slow. And Fire Knights, we're stuck on 18. Okay, so there's a bit of work to be done there, but not as bad as I thought it might be. Let's get into some champions then. So, you know, he said he's a low spend player. Do we believe that or not? Actually, in fairness, looking at the champions here, we have got some good epics. We've got a fantastic legendary in Mountain King. We've got a fusion champion, good epics that have been pulled. Really lucky to have pulled a Skull Crusher at this level of account. Great epics again, fusion, oh, battle pass, sorry. So yeah, that feels believable. And we've got some legendaries in here. Probably a lot of mid-tier legendaries. This fella could be useful for Clan Boss if you got him leveled up. This fella could be useful for Clan Boss as well. But we're probably running with the right team, I'd say. So, okay, so that's fine. Feels like it probably is a low spend player, actually. It feels pretty fair. So what am I going to do then? I'm going to sort of check the team that he's running now, have a look at their gear and their setup and see if it feels good. So we don't have a natural healer in this team, which makes, I guess, Steel Skull's in there. He does heal, in fairness. But having non-lifesteal gear is still pretty tough. What do I think of this build? So this is our decreased attack champion. When you're on Nightmare or Ultra Nightmare, decreased attack is the most important skill in your whole team. If you do not land decreased attack on Ultra Nightmare, you'll be wiping at probably around 3 to 4 minutes. Okay. Now, this Jareg has got the right level speed, okay defense, is a bit on the low side, good HP. His accuracy is just way too low. If you're running 150 accuracy on your decrease attack champion on Ultra Nightmare, this will be the reason that you wipe every single time. Okay, so I think if we can fix the accuracy here, this champion will be in good shape. Let's just have a quick look through the others then. So we've got Razin, Scarhide for our decreased defense and weaken. He should definitely stay in. Good speed, good defense, okay HP. This is a pretty solid build actually. There's not too much I'd need to do with that. In lifesteal gear as well, which is nice. We have got 2 poisonous then, Cult Brawler, lifesteal gear. And he has got okay speed. Not bad defense. He's very difficult to get his defense up because his base defense is so low. So overall, that's quite a nice build for him. Steel Skull, not in lifesteal gear. Probably a bit too quick for this setup. Pretty low defense as well. So this build needs a bit of work. You don't want him to be running that fast. You want him to be able to just kind of be probably around 189 roughly, so 180 to 189 roughly, to be able to do the cleanse consistently. But he's not going to be able to do that with that speed setup. Or he can, he's just too quick. He doesn't need to be as fast as that. The more speed you push into someone, the harder it is to build the other stats that you want into their build, which is why he's struggling with defense here. And then we've got Skull Crusher, who is right speed, not bad defense, not bad HP. This is quite a good build as well, so there's not a lot I need to do with this. Now, in terms of options though, I see we've got Sepulka. She is potentially better than Jareg. So she might be someone that we'd bring in. Do we have masteries? Yes, we do. So we can try her out. I think she's probably better than Jareg for us. She has got good chance to lay that decreased attack. She's also got a block debuff ability, increased defense ability on her A2. That block debuffs will enable us to not need the cleanse from a Steel Skull. And we've got a chance to block some damage here. It's not booked out, but it's still good. We've also got a Frozen Banshee, who I think is better than a Cult Brawler for this team. So I've been in the account already and done her masteries. People are asking me what masteries I would run on her. Basically, I'll go accuracy, accuracy, accuracy. Bit of benefit from items. Chance to reset her poison sensitivity. And then this ability here, Master Hexer, to try and put a poison sensitivity on for 3 turns instead of 2. This is a mistake. I shouldn't have taken this one. She doesn't need it. And then for offense, I would go straight down here and straight down into War Master. And then these two give me more damage and the ability to regain some health. So that's Frozen Banshee. So that feels like there's a team there that can be improved a little bit. Probably I'll end up going with Sepulka, Lead, Razin, Steel Skull, Frozen Banshee, and Skull Crusher. 6 somehow. So that's what I'm going to end up going with. Let's do a gear cleanse then. So what do I do on a gear cleanse? I'm pretty much looking for, let's just get down into some items here. So I'm looking for sets like this, which are pretty niche, which you generally, unless they're amazing items, I wouldn't keep them. For this piece here, pretty bad. I'm looking for combinations of speed, crit rate, crit damage, accuracy, HP percentage, defense percentage. Probably those are the main ones. If they don't have at least 2 of those on a substat, I probably would sell it at this level of account. That's quite nice. Quite nice, but for a set like this, do I need it? I'm not sure that I do. On gloves, I'm looking for HP percentage, defense percentage, crit rate, or crit damage. That's it. Anything else is basically in the bin. On a chest, I am looking for HP percentage, defense percentage, attack percentage, accuracy, or resistance. If it's a flat stat, it goes in the bin. On boots, I'm looking for generally speed, but there's some instances like this where we've got a speed roll that HP percentage, defense percentage, and attack percentage can be good as well. So what we're going to do is clear out a load of items, probably going to clear about 100 odd items, mainly in sets like this where we're just not going to use them that much. None of these are that great. This is pretty good. It's got speed, crit damage and accuracy, 3 good substats. So those two are actually quite good. That's nice. That's borderline. That's not good enough. And it's a little bit account by account. So if I've got 2 good shields already in this set, then I'm going to need to see pretty good shields to keep them. These are actually all good. See this one now, normally that's not bad, but when I'm looking at, I've got 5 already, all good, I'm probably not keeping it. It's another good one as well. What's going on with these good shields in a Vengeance set, which we barely use, you know? But sometimes I'll just keep items because it suits the account. Generally, for an account of this level, 4-star stuff, straight in the bin. Let's just get rid of it. We're past that now. And on sets like this, if it's not speed, we've got 2. Yeah, we'll probably keep all of those. I'll probably keep shield set. This guy obviously knows what he's doing in terms of flat stats. I'm not finding any. So I'm going to keep my stalwart set because that's quite useful. I'll probably keep cruel set most of it, unless we've got a load of level 4 stuff creeping in like this. This is actually a very good piece for level 4, but you know, look how many shields we've got here. So unless we've got terrible shields up the top, that level 4 is going. But it's actually a very nice set of substats. But we've already got, you know, a few very good ones up here. So there's just no need to keep it. So anyway, I'm going to do the full cleanse, get rid of some items, and then we can start gearing people up. Okay, so what you guys don't see is we're about 2 hours later in, and I have got these champions re-geared. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of kind of, if you can imagine someone pours 5 jigsaws upside down, and what you're trying to do is just kind of pull those pieces out, get them back into the right puzzle, and then build the puzzle. That's kind of what this is. Maybe it's a puzzle for 2-year-olds, but what have I done? So I have now got a Skull Crusher as my counterattack champion. Still at 171 speed. I almost kind of took gear off him and then rebuilt him in the way that I would like him to go for Ultra Nightmare. So we've got about 4.3k defense, which is really healthy. I've got 80% crit rate, which means he's going to do damage. He's also, with that higher crit rate, he's got the chance to heal himself, even if he doesn't get a War Master crit. Okay crit HP, okay crit damage. So he's looking good. How have I built him? Life steal set, maximum shield that I could find, with loads of speed on it. Crit rate gloves. How have I got crit rate gloves on him? I've got crit rate gloves because I've got defense chest and defense boots. This is an end game build. This is how you get to end game. You move from speed boots, you get yourself defense boots, but you maintain the speed level you need and the defense level you need. With Skull Crusher, it's a bit easier because we're able to put a defense banner on him. He doesn't need any accuracy. We've got crit damage now on the amulet because I've got crit rate on the gloves. If I didn't put crit rate gloves on, I would have put defense on the amulet. But the end game build is, if I can push crit rate up, I may as well push up crit damage, because that's where the hits are going to start to come from, as well as your War Master procs. So Skull Crusher is in really good shape. Now, if you look here, Skull Crusher's base defense, 4.3k. What I try and do is level off the defense of the team as much as I can. If one person goes down, the chances are the rest of your team are going down. So what I try and do is get to a point where I say, right, 4.3k, that's my ideal. I'm not going to get there with everybody, but I'm going to try and get close to that. If somebody goes way above it, then I say, right, forget your defense gloves. You're getting crit rate gloves as well because you're too far over my cap. So what I've done then on Razin, and this is a good example, Razin has now got 4k defense. He's too slow. I've made a mistake there. I'm going to rectify that. 200 accuracy, 92% crit rate. So again, how have I done that? We have got crit rate gloves. We got crit rate gloves because we got defense boots on him, and we got defense chest. He has got defense on his amulet. Now, I would put crit rate, I would put crit damage on this amulet because of these crit rate gloves. If I had some that gave me the same sort of accuracy, but I don't. So I've been forced to stay with what we've got. And then we've got defense on the ring. So I just need to find a bit more speed. I must have swapped out a piece of gear. I'm going to quickly do that and then we'll come back in. Okay, found my error, got my new hat back on, and let's get back to where we were. So yeah, so 4k defense, 172 speed, so one faster than Skull Crusher, 30k HP. I've got the crit rate gloves on him, so we're going to get some decent damage coming out of him as well. 197 accuracy is just about enough, so he is good to go. I've gone with Sepulka instead of Jareg. I think she's going to be better for this fight. If you remember what I was saying about Jareg, the issue we had was his accuracy was way too low, and I think that's probably why we wiped a lot of fights. So Sepulka is going to be able to do two things. She's going to give us a block debuffs buff, which means that we're not going to take the stun, which means we're not going to get that turn where we don't put decreased attack on potentially. And she's also got a higher accuracy, so I think she's just going to land it more often. So what sort of stats have I got on her? We have got 4.2k defense, so if you imagine I'm around that 4k level still, which is where I want to be. 173 speed, which is good. We've not gone crit rate gloves on her, but we've got a massive amount of accuracy, so that's her kind of main role. How have I got there? We've got defense on the gloves, we've got HP on the chest. I picked her HP up a bit because she is going to be taking the slams from the third hits, so I want to make sure she doesn't go down too low. And then we've got defense on the boots with some speed on it again. Managed to get an accuracy banner for her, and defense. So that's the Sepulka build. 1, 2, 3. We've then got our poisoners. So I've decided to go with Steel Skull in a life steal set. So I've taken him out of the random set. He's gone into life steal, and we have managed to push his defense up. His defense is still way lower than I'd like it to be at 3.1k. He's going to be the first guy to drop, unfortunately. We do have increased defense on 2 of our champions though, so it does mean I'm going to be able to push up 60% defense continuously, so it should still be okay. We've got 189 accuracy, good level of speed on him now. We did manage to get an accuracy banner, but it's a small version. Defense on the amulet, defense on the ring. Obviously, as high a defense shield as I could get, but I did need accuracy, so we've gone speed boots, defense gloves, defense chest. And then lastly, I've got Frozen Banshee in as my second poisoner, who I think is going to be more effective than Occult Brawler in this team. And she has managed to get to 173 speed, so again, good speed, 3.4k defense, 25k HP, it's a little low, 192 accuracy is not bad. These builds would just dramatically step up again if that Great Hall was in good shape. These builds would all be like literally no concern if that Great Hall was just an extra level of defense, of accuracy, of HP, and we would last longer into the fight. In terms of masteries, what have I done? We've got ourselves a Steel Skull with a defensive mastery with War Master in offense. We've got ourselves a Razin in support mastery, so I want to extend the decreased defense and weaken on as much as I can. And we've got Giant Slayer, he's got a free hit A1. We've got Sepulka, who's got support mastery. Again, I want to extend that decreased attack as much as possible. War Master for damage. Sepulka, actually, thinking about it, would probably benefit from coming down here into Lasting Gifts as well to increase the amount of duration on your increased defense. But that's another option, but it's not a necessity. Steel Skull does go into Lasting Gifts, so we've got the ability to extend his increased defense, and we've got improved healing here, and we've got the chance to lay poisons for longer. War Master build again. And then lastly, Frozen Banshee is all about laying poisons for as much time as possible. So I think we're ready to get in there, give it a go. Everybody is chomping at the bit to do some damage to this clan boss. Let's see what we do compared to that 7 million kind of target, I guess. We should absolutely blow that target away with the team we've got here. Okay, so this is going to be the order. Yeah, looks good. Let's do it. So this is an auto comp. I've got it completely speed tuned, but I can't press auto until after the first stun because my speed is too low. So I've gone 171 speed. The clan boss is going faster than that for the first turn. So for the first turn, I completely manual. And what I'm going to do is put my increased defense up first. That's how I want him to go in terms of the manual process. I'm then going to go poison sensitivity. Didn't land, got resisted. I'm going to go A1 on Sepulchre. I'm going to try and get my decreased defense and weaken on as early as I can. That's the one thing that's actually landed. And then A1, really important, A1 here with the Skull Crusher for now. Skull Crusher doesn't use his counter until we get to the second phase. I don't want to turn the increase turn meter at all. So we're coming up now to the stun, so I want to get my block debuffs up and increase defense up. We continue to A1 with Skull Crusher. I don't want to use that counter attack yet until that first stun hits. First stun hits now, we've blocked it. Now I can press auto, and this will run like a dream for the rest of the fight. So we're going to get, other than things like Razin doing silly moves and stuff, but that counter attack is always going to be up now. So we're going to be able to get our poisons flowing through, our decreased attack staying up. And yeah, the main thing which I'm unsure about, see it's just landed there, is have we got enough accuracy to land our buffs, our debuffs across the board? We're still probably 10, 20 points short of where I'd like us to be, other than Sepulchre, who's got very good accuracy. I'm probably about 10, 20 points short of accuracy of where I'd love to be on Steel Skull, on Frozen Banshee, and on my Razin. But other than that, we're in good shape. I think it's going to be a solid run. Didn't actually get my block debuffs off there, which is weird. I don't know if perhaps she doesn't prioritize it. That's an interesting one, because she is on a free turn cooldown, unless it's not booked. Maybe it's not booked free turners, actually. That's probably what it is. Okay. Either way, it's fine. It's I think we're an auto comp. This is what most people would do when they're playing this game. When they get to this sort of stage, there's probably, I don't know, maybe as little as 20% of people that actually do manual runs. So anyway, I'm going to let this run through. I'll show you the results when we're done. Well, here we go. It just lasted just over 9 minutes. 9 minutes 36, which is pretty good. We've done a fairly decent chunk of damage here, 14.6 million. This would be way higher if we had more accuracy. Simple as that. More accuracy, we get probably another 4 million on this. I had resistances from Razin, resistances from Frozen Banshee, resistances on Steel Skull. And that's pretty much where the damage was lost. So, you know, we're doing a decent time. I guess the question is, can I just push some more accuracy into these builds somehow? Trouble is, you know, I've already got quite high accuracy items in these builds. Sepulchre's actually very, very strong accuracy. Let's just have a look on some of these other ones. Maybe I just need to take some actual damage out of the builds and replace it with accuracy on a couple of these, just to try and pull it up another level. It's quite difficult to do. It's not as easy as you think, because all of those kind of jigsaw puzzle pieces I was talking about earlier still have to make sense. So, you know, there's accuracy here, great, I could get the accuracy, but it means I've got to find another 12 speed from somewhere else. And it's not quite as easy as you might think it would be to do. You know, nice piece here, but I'm going to lose 12 speed again. So that's why, yeah, having a decent kind of array of gear is so important for these type of takeovers. It's definitely doable. What I could do as well is kind of think to myself, well, forget the crit rate gloves, but then I've got such a load of speed in those. You know, it's just pretty challenging to do. To improve one area, which definitely would just be enhanced by the Great Hall, you have to change a lot of gear to get there. So 197 is not horrendous. The main one which I was disappointed with in terms of accuracy was Banshee here. So Banshee did, she got too many resists on her poison sensitivity, which means that she was nowhere near as effective as she could be. So we need to get another 20 or so accuracy from her, and it might well be that I just need to find, you know, a different type of amulet. So I'd much rather have the defense one, but there's no point in having defense on somebody who is just not landing their debuffs. So debuffing for her is like a primary role. So if this rolls a couple of times into accuracy, I'm going to swap this over and we'll do one more trial run and see if we can't just kind of pick up an extra bit of damage. So yeah, I'll show you the run when we get into it. Okay, so I have made some changes then. I've put this accuracy enhanced banner on her. I have got myself additional speed out of this shield. I've then pulled in more accuracy from my boots. and less speed. So I kind of played around. I had to move 3 different items, but we got to 228, which is much better accuracy. Let's go for a second run and see what we do second time around, just by literally adapting one champion. So what did we get that first run? 14.62. It's already doubled the previous clan boss damage we were doing. Let's not forget that. Doubled the damage. It's given us a 5p build for Ultra Nightmare, which is by far the best kind of chest that you can get. So we need to manual this start. I'm going to do the same kind of setup, so I'm not going to bore you with that, but then I'll show you the results at the end. Okay, so we've lasted just a little bit longer, not much, coming up for 10 minutes, but 16 million damage. So just having a bit more accuracy and landing those poisons has pushed our damage up another 1.5 million. Seriously, it's just like, if anyone wants to see the value of accuracy on a champion, we change one champion, we gain 1.5 million. We gain 10% more overall damage by changing one champion's accuracy up 30. Yeah, it's huge. That's a huge amount of damage change. This team is in good shape. 16 million. That is actually a, is that a 4 key? 16, 32? No, still 5 key. Still 5 key. However, it's over double the damage that we were doing before.